Bombline was never a huge Roblox game or anything, but honestly, it became one of those games a lot of people always came back to. I spent a lot of time playing it with friends, messing around in matches, clutching rounds, getting destroyed by random shotguns, all that stuff. It had this really chaotic but fun feeling that made it different from most Roblox shooters. But recently the game has started feeling way quieter than it used to, and it kind of made me wonder what actually happened to Bombline. One thing I always liked about Bombline was that every match felt different. Since the loadouts were randomized, you could not just use the same gun over and over every game. You actually had to adapt and work with whatever you got. The game also had a good mix of strategy and chaos. 1 second your team is winning and the next everybody is dead because someone rushed the site with a shotgun. Even small moments were memorable. Last second defuses, random grenade kills, entire teams rushing at once. Stuff like that made the game fun even when it was messy. Over time though, the game slowly started feeling less active. 12 versus 12 matches are basically dead now most of the time, or there just are not enough players online to even fill them properly anymore. Infection barely gets players now, and hardcore mode feels like it made a lot of people frustrated, or just not interested in playing. Even normal matches are not always full anymore. I also started noticing a lot of familiar players disappearing. Names I used to see almost every day just slowly stopped showing up. The community feels way quieter now compared to a few years ago. Updates also started feeling slower, and overall, it just feels like the game lost a lot of momentum. At the same time, a lot of players seem to move over to Sniper Duels, and honestly I get why. The game blew up really fast, it has a huge player base, progression systems, crates, leaderboards, and way more activity overall. When I played it, I noticed a lot of names I recognized from Bombline already over there. It kind of feels like attention shifted towards Sniper Duels while Bombline slowly got left behind. I played Sniper Duels on day 1 of release, and honestly, I thought it was a really good game at first. The gameplay was fun, the progression felt rewarding, and it was obvious why so many people started playing it so quickly. But after a while, I started noticing how toxic the community could get sometimes. There were a lot of tryhards, rogue gangsters, and people taking the game way too seriously.
Don't talk like that for the man them here.
Yo, guys, actually show up.
Talk like that for the man them here.
What you talking like? What you moving like? What you feeling like? You feel like? We can get it on, yeah?
Bombline definitely had toxic players too, but Sniper Duels felt way more competitive and aggressive overall. I played it for a few weeks, managed to hit the leaderboards at one point, got some rare snipers, and then eventually just stopped caring about the game. I do not even fully know why. I think after a while it just started feeling repetitive, and the community around it made the experience less enjoyable for me personally. I still think Bombline has really solid gameplay, but there are definitely some things holding it back. The biggest one for me is probably hit registration. There are way too many moments where shots feel like they should have connected, but somehow do not. The game also started feeling dry because of the lack of major updates. There were things teased like weapon reanimations and other additions, but there has not really been much happening recently. Another thing that sucked was the map submission system closing. I remember working on a map for Bombline a while back, hoping maybe it would actually make it into the game one day, but submissions closed before anything happened. It just felt disappointing because community maps could have added a lot more life to the game. Even with all of that, people still seem to care about Bombline because the core gameplay is actually fun. The matches are fast, chaotic, and really easy to just hop into with friends for hours. There is also this nostalgic feeling around the game now. The building style and overall vibe feel like an older era of Roblox shooters, before everything became super grind focused, with constant unlock systems and overly monetized progression. It just feels more simple in a good way. You load in, play, and that's it. I do not think Bombline needs to become some massive Roblox game overnight, but honestly, even a few meaningful updates could help a lot. New maps, weapon updates, gameplay fixes, maybe even community events again. The game already has a good foundation, it just feels like it needs attention again. At the end of the day, Bombline is still one of my favorite shooters on Roblox. Even if the player base is smaller now, the game still has something special about it that keeps people coming back. I just hope it does not end up completely forgotten someday. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.